Good evening.
I'd just like to talk about the manufacturing of Connecticut jobs in Connecticut.
Sure. Sure.
Where it's going,
I'm sorry?
where it's going.
Well, you know, I've been the governor for about 26 months, 27 months. Manufacturing in Connecticut has been on decline basically since the end of the Second World War. The second largest munitions manufacturing site at the Second World War after Detroit was Bridgeport. So, you know, all I can tell you is that I'm trying to make sure that we have a workforce in Connecticut for manufacturing. So let me tell you a story. I tell the legislature on the last day of the session in which we had the big fight about what the first two-year budget would look like under my administration. We get it done, I go in to give a speech, and I say, I'm going to call you back in a special session on jobs. And then I go out and do 85 stops at manufacturers and schools and traverse the state. I think I ran into representatives that are state senators and representatives that are here at some of those stops. Many of those stops in the valley. I also stopped at a place called Naugutuck Community College up in Enfield, Connecticut, where they had a manufacturing program that for 10 years in a row had somewhere between a 98% and 100% placement rate in precision manufacturing. Now we have 12 community colleges in the state of Connecticut, and that program with a 98 to 100% placement rate hadn't been replicated in a single community college in this state. Not one. And by the way, we'd also allowed our VOTEC schools, many of those, to deteriorate, including the manufacturing sections of those. I mean, you could go into VOTEC schools in the state of Connecticut, and if you saw one CAD/CAM design aided device, that was a good thing. In that jobs bill, that got all but one vote in the House and all but one vote in the Senate, and so everybody who's here voted for it. We took that as Naugutuck design system and brought it to 3 community colleges. One of them is Naugutuck, one of them is Bridgeport, and another one is out in the eastern portion of the state. We did that in a matter of months, once we put our mind to it. And what we need to do is bring that program to additional schools. Because one of the things that we have going on in manufacturing in the state of Connecticut right now is we are aging out machinists and aging out quality workforce at a faster rate than we're replacing them. So I can't undo 50 years of decline, but I can fight the fight to make sure that Pratt & Whitney continues to make engines in this state, to make sure that Electric Boat continues to make submarines in this state, and all the parts that go into that. That the 179 firms in the state of Connecticut whose primary work is aerospace remain in the state of Connecticut. Or the 300 firms that do some amount of aerospace work remain in the state of Connecticut. But I can only do that if we make the kinds of investments that I'm trying to get the state of Connecticut to make, including the one that I announced this year. I want to increase the graduation rate in engineering from the University of Connecticut by 70%. Why? Because we are not graduating and producing in our state enough engineers to meet the current demand. And because we're not necessarily the easiest place to get someone from Kansas with an engineering degree to move to, we've got to educate more in our state. In fact, the program that I've rolled out for UConn would increase what's called STEM graduation. So science, technology, energy, engineering, and math, by a total of 47%. And by the way, we'll continue to make investments at the 4 regional universities, state universities. We'll continue to make those investments at the community college. We don't have the workforce necessary to be as competitive for precision manufacturing as we need. We're aging out machinists more rapidly than we're getting people certified machinists. And we're going to have a bunch of proposals and announcements in the coming 60 days that will speak to that issue very clearly.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it, and I'm a proud supporter of you.
Thank you very much. Hey, listen, I want to thank everybody. You were very kind. We have some disagreements, we also have some agreements, I suspect we all learned today. Everything I said, I meant with respect. If I offended anybody, I apologize. You all have strongly held positions. I have some strongly held positions. I have legislators over here, both sides. And I just, wish you all the best, and may God bless you all. Thank you.